Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve.
Does that answer your question?
You did it. It was a pregnant pause before you hit record.
Well, you asked if we were going to record. I think today's podcast is going to be brought to you by the sounds of silence.
Lots of silence today. It's going to be like an NPR piece.
Only without the integrity.
Yeah, zero integrity, zero fact checking.
Right. No fact checking.
No light jazz interludes.
Our interns are off for the summer.
Steve's coming to us from his secret lab.
I am.
That's why he may sound a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually turned my microphone on this week. I might sound a little better.
What are you saying?
Well,
you mean better than last week?
Better than last week. I don't think I had it turned on.
I could hear you.
Today's podcast is also brought to you by Maine Root Beer. For all your root beer needs.
How is it?
It's good.
Where did you get the Maine root beer?
Well, my wife purchased it for me from Natural Grocers. Today's podcast is also brought to you by Natural Grocers, where vitamins cost more than your mortgage. Vitamin House at Natural Grocers.
That's not a great endorsement,
dude. I don't even know if they work.
You're still taking them.
I'm still taking them, and I think I'm peeing them out. Just peeing them out. All the goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Trying to Be Better podcast with Joel and Steve. My name is Joel.
And I'm Steve.
And this is a podcast?
No, it's a podcast. You can say it's a podcast.
This is a podcast. This is a podcast. Welcome to it.
Definitively a podcast. Two cis, straight, middle-aged white dudes having a podcast.
Having a podcast on a Thursday afternoon.
And what a lovely Thursday afternoon it is.
It really is nice. I mowed the yard today. I put together a bamboo shoe rack.
Bamboo shoe rack.
I went to Ace Hardware and bought tin snips.
Why are you snipping tin?
Well, Steve, my new puppy found a hole in the chain link. So I bought some just like metal, like just some chicken wire, and I need to cut it, and I don't have anything adequate to cut it. So I bought some tin snips.
The joys of dog ownership.
Well, also, like any place that's dog friendly, they just give her the biggest fucking treats. Like she's only getting training treats right now, but like the drive-through at the bank, Ace Hardware, they like pull out these huge fucking treats. She goes bananas. So it's good.
I can't say as I've ever taken my dog to the hardware store.
Dude, Ace is dog friendly, dude. I'm looking up all these places that are dog friendly. There's a dog, what is it called? Urban Dog Bar or something right over by our house by Ace. And they've got non-alcoholic, soda, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to take my dog to the bar. You have opinions.
I can't fathom having that much time.
Steve, I'm on summer break, baby.
I know. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, I can't even imagine what it must be like to just be like, I think I'm going to walk the dog down to the non-alcoholic bar and just hang out for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I think they do have actual booze, but they also have options for us sober folks to.
You know what, Joel? I hate your freedoms.
See, it's funny that you say that because I used to think there was a good 48 hours there where I thought that this dog was ruining all of my summer freedoms.
The dog's ruining your life.
And then Kirsten and I had a conversation last night because we're, it's a shift in everything. And she's like, what if we just act as if we're here for this? What if we just let go of what is different and just act as if we signed up for this?
Hold on. If all you've got to live for is what you left behind, get yourself a powder charge and seal that silver mine.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. Seal it up.
Cross the Rio Grande, baby.
That's a good poll, man. That was
Thank
a really
you.
good poll. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. That we're not going to get any better than that.
Nope.
I watched this thing. It was like, take this, like, here's how you let go of your past. Right now, in this moment, pretend as if an alien just landed into your body and is taking in this experience for the very first time. This is all you've known. This is exactly the way it should be. Whatever you're around right now is exactly the way it should be. And that's what I'm trying to work with.
Do you have to envision the alien piece, or can you just say that this is the way it's supposed to be?
I've heard that phrase, this is the way it's supposed to be, so much my brain's like, nah, fuck that. I need aliens.
Okay. Well, I can appreciate that. Yeah.
I need a thought experiment. I need an alien.
It's not supposed to be like this. Like, well, actually, it literally is supposed to be like this because this is the way it is.
This is the way it is.
By definition, this is the way it's supposed to be.
Because this is the way it is.
Correct.
Right now it's like this.
Right now it's like this.
It is what it is, man.
Nah, I hate that. You want it to be one way, but it's the other way.
And me wanting it to be another way is what's making but I am making up a story in my brain that is making me miserable. That's what I do there. When I'm like, I don't even know what it's like. Well, I don't even know what I want. I don't even know what it's supposed to be. But because I want that, I think this is wrong. That's what I do. That's what we do to our fucking selves, man. I just make shit up and it hurts me. I'm just hurting my own feelings all the time. Why?
I make shit up that hurts me.
I mean, doesn't that track though? You just make shit up and it hurts me. It's like I'm spending a lot of energy in my brain to make up a false reality that I think I want that is hurting me.
I think we did it.
I think we that. Yeah, dude. We peaked real early. It's only like 8 minutes in and we have peaked way too early. Because it's not going to get any better than that.
I don't think so.
I mean, that's like Buddhism in a nutshell right there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, the first two truths, at least.
Right, yeah. So what do we do about it then?
Well, we got to live differently. We got to live as if
you're an alien.
Yes. That's key. That's key. You got to live as if you're an alien showing up in the present moment every moment. You got to bring yourself.
Can I be a Tralfamadorian?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. You can be whatever you want.
I can be whatever.
You can literally imagine whatever you want because that is not going to hurt you.
But that's what we just said that's what.
I know. What I mean is you can imagine the ghost driving your meat suit to be whatever form you want.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Meat suit.
Yep. It's like a ghost in a fucking, Star Trek bridge.
No, it's like the cockroach thing in Men in Black.
Totally. I think
of human body.
That's good. I also think of Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Never watched it.
It's just a brain that has a couple of appendages and is driving this huge body.
Oh.
I think his name is Krang.
If know.
It's not, you can email us at ttbbpodcast@gmail.com.
Nice work.
Yeah.
How's our social media presence doing?
Well, I post about the show every time we do one. See,
I think that's great.
I don't go into the analytics of it.
No, we need an intern.
We fired our last intern.
Worthless.
Terrible.
His
name was Joel and he was a past version of myself and we had to fire him. That was like 9 versions ago.
I don't feel like he was putting much effort into it.
He really wasn't. He kind of just was
It's a
phoning it
shame
in.
because he was a talented person. He just didn't apply himself.
He didn't. He came to us with 2 degrees in creative pursuits. Like he's created and
He,
told interesting
well,
stories.
he just acted like he was better than this podcast.
Yeah, he was really full of himself. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't have that.
No,
I mean,
he had to go.
if there's anything more important than our egos around here, I want him shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was and also he demanded to be paid for it, which
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
I'm like, dude, we're paying you an exposure.
Right. Which is
Yeah.
clearly worth a lot.
Yeah, social media presence exposure is huge right now.
All the kids are into it. Apparently.
You can parlay that into a TikTok career if you want, but he gave up. He gave up.
Well, we're better off without him.
I mean, clearly.
Right.
Clearly.
If we could just get our merch manager in gear.
Oh yeah. If you've ordered a mug, they're on back order. It's because of the pandemic. Sorry.
Because of the pandemic. Please allow it 68 more weeks.
Yeah, the supply chain issues are still pretty intense.
Yeah. Plus
I bet we could.
Plus we fired our mug maker too, so there's that.
Yeah, well, they weren't cutting it. They weren't cutting it.
Do we know any pottery people? Because Marin does the hand thrown mugs.
I know.
I feel.
I know. Old pal, Austin Higgins throws some clay around. I've seen her do that on the old Instagram machine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that's a thought. Austin,
if you're interested in some exposure for your ceramic business,
some internet exposure.
Yeah, we have some digital capital we'd like to throw your way,
and we'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have a lot of presence.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have statistical numbers that would feed to your online
Amalgator thing.
Yeah, your flux capacitor could potentially increase.
Right.
And that reminds me, I used to riff with my friend Jeremy. I think it was Jeremy. Yeah, where we would just make up, like, we'd talk about cars, but not talk about actual parts of cars, but just make shit up. And one that always came out was the K-wire. We had a bad K-wire, but we would just like try to talk. We'd try to talk as seriously as we could about the mechanics of an automobile without knowing jack shit about said mechanics, and just make stuff up. That was a good bit.
Good exercise
that nobody saw but us.
Sure.
Yep.
Have you ever done or considered doing stand-up?
Yes, I've considered it. I've never done it. I feel like I do stand-up every time I teach a class because it's mostly improvised and very self-loathing. I'm definitely, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have considered it. And at the time, there was a time our friend Casey was working up like 3 to 5 minutes of material. And I don't know if he ever did an open mic or not, but I've been to a couple of open mics, and I've always, I mean, this was maybe 10 years ago. I remember saying, I'm too scared to, like, I would never do that. Like, I need a script and a rehearsal and all that. But I'm like, I don't know. I could do it. I might be able to do it.
You're quick on the draw.
Only on Thursdays at 3, which is really not where
I understand. Not a lot of stand-up happens on Thursdays at 3.
No, it's not the real hot ticket.
No.
I thought about it though. I'm like, I should do that just to freak myself out once or twice. Just like
put yourself in the crucible.
Yeah, put myself out there. Bucket list sort of. I did this.
Is there a place to do that in Lincoln?
Yeah, I think there's a few open mics. I think there's still one at Duffy's. And Brad Stewart used to do one. He used to do one I don't know if it was well, I don't know if it was. Well, he did the Zoolarius, which I think was actual sort
That
of
was different.
comics.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
different, but I
yeah.
think he did do one somewhere.
Hmm.
I should ask Semrad because he's kind of in charge of all the entertainment that goes on at Duffy's. I wonder if he's doing an open mic.
That's
Call
something
it
I've considered.
Mike opens open mic.
Oh boy.
Yeah. See, this is my peak. This is peak Joel.
You're on fire today, man.
Very little sleep. Gross from mowing the yard. Sugary root beer. 3 p.m. on a Thursday.
It sounds great to me.
What's cooking in that lab of yours? What's going on with you right now?
What is going on with me? Oh,
Simone, let's talk about your big butt.
I don't even know what that reference is.
Pee-wee Herman's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah.
When they're in the dinosaur.
They're the dinosaur.
Well, yeah, because we were talking about the guy that I said to go to that meeting. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be at the meeting because I'm going to go see a show. And I said, tell him Large Marge sent you. And then I was like, I really hope you get that reference. I hope you get that reference. And he was like, that reference is right in my wheelhouse. I was like, thank God.
That's so funny. Tell him Large Marge sent you. Phantom 309 style.
What's new with you, man? What's going on?
You know
What's
what?
the haps?
Like almost nothing. I really
Okay.
have nothing. I mean, it's not a bad thing.
No.
No. We're just kind of doing I don't know. This is gonna be the most boring. You shouldn't ask me that question.
I know, but
What's going on? The answer, not really anything.
that's okay though.
That's actually not true, but some of the things I'm not going to talk about on the podcast. So there's that.
That's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair. Yeah, we don't unpack everything here.
That's no, for the sake of, to protect the guilty.
Right.
Hmm. I went and saw a train.
Oh. Dude, tell me about the train. Tell us all about the train.
Well,
and the fact that you've kind of texted me and our group thread for years. You've gone to see this train a lot, right?
Well, this one and its counterpart. So the train that I saw was it's colloquially known as the Big Boy, which there were 25 of them built in the early 40s. Is basically to haul heavy freight over the Rocky Mountains. And they're these 1.2 million pound steam locomotives that are 4884 layout, which means they have 4 trailing wheels, 8 driving wheels, then another set of 8 driving wheels, and then 4 leading wheels.
Holy shit.
They're huge. You can see one at Kennefic Park in Omaha.
Oh, yeah.
Overlooking I-80.
Yeah.
And they're just these mammoth machines. And there's one that's actually functional. It was rehabbed by volunteers, I think. And it started coming back in service in 2019. And the Union Pacific Railroad has what they call the Heritage Fleet, which is basically rolling museums. And so periodically they'll bring one of these things out of mothballs and send it across the country on like a museum tour. And so
it's going coast to coast, like that thing still runs that.
I don't remember where it started on this particular journey, but it came through Columbus and Fremont, Nebraska, and I went and saw it up in Fremont, and its final destination was outside of the College World Series in Omaha.
Oh, cool.
Because they had that track that pulls up right across the street from the stadium. So we'll be there for a week, I think, just sitting. But the chance to get to see it up close, like, you can stand by it basically and watch it roll into town and roll out of town. And it's not quite as whatever awe-inspiring as it was back in the day, because they converted them from coal power to oil fuel. And they run a little cleaner and they run a little quieter, but it's still steam powered. And it's just this incredible piece of history, moving history. And people come out. I mean, there was hundreds of people there in Fremont to see it, all shapes, all sizes. Ran into a friend from Lincoln there with his kids, and this particular locomotive was in service from 1941 to 1961 and just hauling Herculean amounts of freight over the Rocky Mountains, designed to go over the steep grades, carrying all the cars. And
you're listening to NPR's Train Talk with Joel and Steve. Welcome to Train Talk.
Yeah, and so
that's fucking dope, though. That like, how much did you say the thing weighed?
1.2 million pounds.
So it needs all of that power just to move itself. Was it hauling, like in that time? It was hauling freight, obviously, or people, or what was
freight,
that for?
Heavy freight. It was partly, I think, to help for World War II.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, I mean, you just said, I'll put a link, I guess, in the show notes, just to a Wikipedia page or something so you can see it. But the pictures do not do these things justice.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really, it's kind I mean, even one of my younger daughter went to look at it, and, at first she was like, well, I'll just go along for the ride and there'll be lunch, I'm sure, but when it's pulling in, she was like, oh my God, like that thing's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're at all a rail fan type person, it's just a piece of Americana, it's a piece of technology, it's, just brute force. I mean, there's like to deal with the issues of heavier loads across longer distances, they just made bigger engines.
That's the American way, baby.
That's right. And so it's like the big boy is essentially two very large locomotives in one structure.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and is this like one of the only ones still running?
It's the only one still running.
Oh shit.
There are 25 of them built. And then it's, I guess, cousin locomotive, the Challenger, which is a 4664 machine. But with the drive wheels on the Challenger are like 6 feet tall. They're just huge. But I saw that one in 2010 down in Marysville, Kansas, and it actually got retired from even museum service like right after that because it just needs a lot of work. But I just read recently that it's undergoing rehab to come back into museum service, into heritage fleet service. So that'll be cool for people that are into that sort of thing,
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing.
It's
where does it live? Where does the one
Cheyenne? It's housed in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Yeah.
So they drive it as a locomotive from there. I mean, there's no other way to get it anywhere.
Right. No, and it
like
hauls,
what do you do with that?
It hauls like cars to house the crew. And I think I think on this trip, but I mean sometimes they'll haul like passengers on like an old style passenger car situation, That wasn't happening this time. In fact, this time I was actually hauling a more modern locomotive, probably just in case it broke down,
Right.
So it could push its way to wherever it needed to get,
Wow.
But I mean, it's hard to describe just the size and the awesome, that's what I'm looking for, power. I mean, it's very, it's one thing to like, oh yeah, steam locomotive going down the track. It's another thing to be standing in front of one that weighs over 1 million pounds, blowing smoke. Like it's and the steam whistle is incredibly loud.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like just for miles away, you hear the thing coming, and it's just, it's really just awe-inspiring.
It's awesome.
Just to stand and look at it and watch it chug away, just mind-blowing.
Have you always kind of been into trains? I feel like
since I was a kid.
Yeah, I feel like we've been on road trips and you've revealed that once or twice, and
model trains and whatnot, and yeah, I don't know. It's just something I've always been interested in.
Yeah.
Our friend and past guest Jax Van Cleve's son August is really into trains. He photographs them and he paints them.
Yeah.
And he's actually won some awards for his work along those lines, which is really cool.
Yeah, his Instagram handle is Van Cleve Rail, right?
Yep. VANCLEAVE rail.
Yeah, and it's so cool. Like, it's really just cool. Like and the photos he gets and just sort of the descriptions of what I'm looking at. It's like, it's interesting to even if you don't care. It's like,
right.
It's always cool to see people into shit, especially if you're not really into it. But you know what I mean? It's like, man, that person's really into that, and they like to do that, and they like to really photograph that, talk about that, collect that, whatever it is. This is cool. It's inspiring. It's like, yeah, dude, just
Wave
get
that
into
flag.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Toot your hooter, man. Like
exactly.
It's super cool. Yeah, if anybody wants a cool account to follow Van Cleave Rail.
Yeah, it's awesome. Jack said he was going to be up there. I didn't see him, but there was a lot of people. There was a lot of people there.
A lot of people there.
A
lot of ins and outs.
Lot and what have yous. A lot of strands in old Duder's head.
Nice marmot.
I think it's about time for my annual viewing of that.
Yeah. That I should do a double feature of Big Lebowski and Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That's a good double bill.
That is.
You start with Pee-wee probably.
Yeah. And then move on to the more evening.
Right.
The more evening feature of, the more salacious tale of LA.
Right.
I remember in my first year of acting school, grad school, we did some work with like film noir, just different film noir texts, like we read Trouble Is My Business and a bunch of like Raymond Chandler shit. And when we watched a bunch of noir, the Maltese Falcon and God, what's the not Eve? What is it? Fucking evil, something evil. God damn it. Anyway, and then we started kind of getting interested in like, okay, well, this trope of like a guy in Los Angeles looking for something, trying to figure something out, gets knocked out at some point, has a dame that he's gets double crossed by, a lot of shit goes down, and I was like, that's the Big Lebowski is the modern film noir, even though it's not like black and white, right? Like it's the modern noir story. It's perfect.
So I read, do you remember the movie The Hot Spot with Don Johnson?
No, I don't think I saw that.
Okay. Well, I didn't either actually, but somehow it came up. I don't know, something I was reading, and the book that it's based on was is called Hell Hath No Fury. And it's by, this is gonna bother me because I can't find the damn name of the author. It's gonna bother. I don't think The Hot Spot was that great of a movie, but it was directed by Dennis Hopper, so there's that.
Starring Don Johnson, and wasn't
yeah,
good?
and also has Virginia Madsen and Jennifer Connelly in it.
Shit.
Right. But it's
too big to fail.
It's kind of a I'm really bothered that I can't find anyway, I read the book.
Have you ever tried Google? Just go to Google.
I'm looking at it right now, Joel. God damn it.
He's got to be quiet in his secret lab. He can't yell at me like he wants to.
Whatever, it's called Hell Hath No Fury. The author is escaping me. But it's about kind of a low-level criminal type person that's kind of sort of going straight-ish in this small town in Louisiana or Texas or someplace, and immediately kind of gets sucked into a web of like he figures a way to pull off the crime of the century in this little town, and then he gets involved with two different women, and they both have their one designs, and then the other local criminal in town, and it's just this really completely fucked up situation that he totally gets himself into, and he's totally aware that he gets himself into it, but he kind of can't help it,
right.
And anyway, it was very entertaining.
What's the book or the movie?
The book is called Hell Hath No Fury by Charles Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was like, a trash novel basically.
Sure.
But it's delightfully trashy.
Yeah.
And then Dennis Hopper turned it into this movie, The Hot Spot, with Don Johnson, Virginia Madsen, Jennifer Connelly.
What year is that film?
1990.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. So he was trying to break out of the Miami Vice world and make it into big features.
I think that's yeah. And after having read the book, I can't see Don Johnson playing this guy.
Right. That's
And he's-
probably that was a studio decision for
It was,
sure.
yeah, and it needed to be more not schlubby, but not as pretty.
Mhm.
Don Johnson's Mickey Rourke would have been great in it.
Yeah. God,
Mhm.
Mickey Rourke.
hmm Like Mickey Rourke along the era of the wrestler Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
That kind of like he would have been great in this role.
Mhm.
John Johnson's just too pretty.
I mean, he is pretty though.
He's pretty.
Too pretty.
Too pretty. Anyway, that's what's happening. I saw a train and I read a book.
This is our NPR episode.
Right. I went to a rolling museum and I read some trashy literature.
And we are going to go see Wayne Coyne and the Flaming Lips tomorrow night in
That's
Omaha,
correct.
Nebraska.
That is
I don't
happening.
know what I'm getting into.
Oh, you've never seen them?
I have never seen the Flaming Lips.
Oh.
I remember my brother seeing the Lips way back in the day when their hit kind of broke the
They had a
she
hit.
don't use jelly or whatever, that the Vaseline song.
I don't know what that is.
She uses Vaseline. That song? No.
I don't know. Maybe I'll look it
That's
up.
the Lips, right? Oh God, if that's not the Lips, I'm gonna feel like an asshole. But I'm familiar. I am mostly familiar with the album they're going to be playing in its entirety, which is Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots.
I didn't even know that was what they were doing. I'm just
that's like that's the tour. I think they might play other stuff, but they're playing that album specifically.
Oh.
And so they're going to have, I mean, but from what I can see, there's a lot of stage theatrics and
very much so.
And confetti cannons and balloon words and large inflatables. And
the time that I saw him, Wayne Coyne spent most of the show on this, I'll call it a podium, but it was much bigger than that. And then from the podium were all these light tube tentacle things that went out. And it was just psychedelic and just mind-meltingly trippy and weird. And yeah, so I'm very excited.
I'm excited too.
That was like 10 years ago, probably.
And they're still at it. I don't think they were one of the very few bands that were like, we're going to keep touring during the pandemic. And they did the bubble shows.
Bubbles.
And like you could reserve a bubble.
I don't know how that worked. I was actually showing my daughter one of those pictures recently. She's like, and you could breathe in there? And I'm like, I guess.
I think he's like, they shared. So Kirsten and I kind of looked into it. I don't think we're ever really going to go, but they played Oklahoma City because I think that's where he lives. Yeah. Right. And we're like, well, what does this really entail? And then there was like, the show is only about 50 minutes. That's really all that you should be in these bubbles. Like if you pass out, use the flashlight to signal somebody. And I'm like, oh no. That's not worth it.
That doesn't sound very fun.
No. I mean, it was kind of cool to watch them do it, but at the same time, I'm like, do you really need to? Do you really need to be doing that right now?
I mean, it's Wayne Coyne. They're going to try all the things.
Yeah.
That's why I love Wayne Coyne, because he's just weird as shit in a really great way.
Super weird.
And makes no bones about it.
No. He's a very hard cat to follow in an interview. Did you listen to that Marin interview with him, right?
How old is it?
Maybe 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. There's so many Marin interviews.
There's a lot. He was all over the place in a great way.
Sure. Well, he's one of those artistic people.
I think he's also done a lot of drugs.
Quite possibly. Yeah, I think that may be a factor as well.
I think he's done a lot of drugs. Yeah.
Well,
but I'm stoked. I'm excited to see it. I'm also excited to, leave the kid at home and get out a little bit, man. I mean, I'm just like bogged down, just like new dad, man. It's just a lot, dude.
It's the old ball and chain, man.
My friend Sean, he was like, whatever you do, at every possible turn, compare having a dog to having a kid to people that have kids.
That's right.
And he's like, you can't pussyfoot it though. You have to
Right.
go all in.
All in. Yeah.
Just to really send them.
Right.
Like, yeah, geez. You know, sleep when the puppy sleeps. I don't know. I guess it's just our whole lives have changed. And
I just want you to know, Joel, that I love you and I'm giving you so much grace around this.
I know I can tell.
It's killing me.
I can tell. I can so tell. You're like, Steve's like, your lips, your fucking, your lips are bleeding from biting them so hard.
I've known you for a long time.
It's hard. I haven't gotten a lot of sleep.
Shut the fuck up.
We got to let the puppy out. It goes to the bathroom at 7 a.m., Steve.
It's unbelievable.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Hey, it is hard because it's all relative, right? Everybody's pain is relative.
And this is where I've been able to find some grace, is I know that for you, this is a major life shock.
It's huge.
It's huge. And so I've been able, because this is how magnanimous and giving I am. I've been able to find space for Joel and his new puppy. And
I will say though, like to take it a level deeper, that is real compassion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To not be like,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. Knock it off. It's like, okay, my experience might be different, but I'm going to love my friend through this huge life change, even though I think it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I appreciate the compassion.
I get it, man. Like, it's a thing. It's real. You guys have not had to deal with that like ever as a couple anyway, you know?
No, we've not ever had to deal with that. And I think it's made us better communicators because we have to, like we've leaned into that part of it, but it's hard, man.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Because then all you're doing is communicating about the kids.
Yeah, well, no. That's why this Flaming Lips show, we're looking forward. We got a dog sitter. The great Colin Eggers coming over.
Nice.
He's going to bring his dog, Nico. They're going to hang out at the house, watch the puppy. We finally get a night out, you know?
That'll be great, man.
It'll be great.
I'll be there, you know, kind of skulking around behind you as a third wheel.
We'll get in the weird mix. It'll be nice to have you there.
It'll be fine.
Shows with you are always the best.
Aw.
Are you going? So speaking of shows, we're just gonna have this conversation. What Dead? Are you going to all 3 Dead and Company nights?
First 2.
I'm thinking Sunday. I'm thinking Sunday's our show. Never miss a Sunday show.
There's still tickets available for it?
There are still tickets available for the Sunday show.
You should get them.
Straight through the website. And also I get alerts from Cash or Trade.
Oh.
And there's always tickets coming up on that.
Right.
So.
You should go. They're on fire.
Yeah, I listened to that. Well, I listened to one of the Wrigley shows, and then been checking out the free set, the first few songs of the set on YouTube that they put out. Yeah, dude, unreal.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good. So I'm actually legitimately excited to do that one more time.
Yeah, me too, man.
Well, did we do it?
I think we did it. I think
we did it.
I think we did something.
We did something. We created content.
We created everyone's favorite content.
Everyone's favorite content.
Yeah.
It's a bold statement, but all.
Yeah. Glad we did this, man. Thanks for making time. Go back to
I have to go back to
dissecting aliens or whatever you're doing today.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
All right. Have a good summer.
dipped in moonlight, lighting full across the morning sky.
Don't forget, toot your hooter.